Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Oh, look at you with your cool shirt all up like Fonzie. Do you know who Fonzie is?
No.
No? Don't worry. Just want to talk to you about school.
All right.
So, what's happened this year? You've started
VCE.
year 10 and VCE. Yeah, you have. And how's that? So, talk me through a couple of the things that are different from last year.
Well, your schedule is entirely made up by you. Like, you get to pick all of the subjects you want to do.
Mm-hmm. And you like that?
Well, maybe. I'm not too sure. Like,
Sure. Anything else? So what subjects are you doing?
English, maths, chemistry, physics, and psychology, which is the VCE subject. And in semester 2, I'll be doing biology instead of chemistry.
And which one's your favorite?
Well, now there's 3 of them, I believe. Like, it's made up of maths, chemistry, and physics, I suppose.
Can you tell me a little bit about don't tell me about maths because I won't understand.
Alright.
Can you tell me, like, what are you learning in physics, for example?
Well, it's mostly about stars.
Stars
Yeah.
up in the sky?
Yeah.
Astronomy, or is it
Yes.
physics?
Uh,
Why are you learning about the stars?
Honestly, I don't know.
Maybe because there's a lot of physics around gravitational.
Yeah, maybe.
Can you think of any reason? Is that all you've been learning about, the stars, or have you been learning about other?
We've also been learning about the types of radiation, like alpha, beta, and gamma.
Okay. Radiation, that's interesting because has that been giving you any anxiety?
Well, the overall concept, no, but if it's placed in front of you, then you'll know you'll die.
Is there a radiation that you don't die from?
I don't think so.
All radiations are bad?
Yeah, I think so.
Does it depend?
Well, it depends on the amount. If it's like an X-ray amount, like you're exposed to background radiation all the time, like, but it's so small, like, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so what about chemistry? How's that going?
I suppose it. I suppose it's a bit challenging.
Is it? What's challenging?
Balancing chemical equations. It's a bit challenging for me.
The mathematics side, you mean the mathematics side of balancing the equations, or is it the concepts, or what is it that's is the teacher explaining it easily enough? Are you understanding?
Well, there is a method in which that helps me understand, and it's on a style lesson. which helps me understand a lot.
Okay. And what about English? How's English going? Because English is always going to be the hardest for you, isn't it? English is always going to be the hardest. How's English been this year so far?
So far, it's been great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any problems?
I don't. Well, not that I want to bring up.
Okay. What about psychology?
It's going well.
Yeah? What sort of things are you learning in psychology?
We were learning about the nervous system, the neurons, the brain, more specifically the lobes, the forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, the cortexes, and the effects of brain damage.
Sit. Okay. So you're learning about. That's just our little joke. What about teachers? Are they all new teachers, or are they teachers that you've had before?
Well, they're all new teachers.
They're all new? You've never had any of them before?
Well, my chemistry teacher, I've only had as a substitute, apparently.
Before once, you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've gone into like the equivalent of high school, I guess. Even though you're in high school, you've gone into senior school, maybe that's the better word. And you've got all new teachers. Are there areas that you're struggling in, or that the teachers are struggling in, do you think? Like the areas that the teachers, like, not being familiar with you and how you work?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay. Like, what happened the other day with the chemistry teacher, when the chemistry teacher said about... what was that? That was about the periodic table?
I don't think so. I kind of don't want to talk about that.
Okay. What advice would you give to kids starting VCE about not VCE or year 10, what's different? What advice would you give? What would you say is different? How is it different? What are the good points and what are the bad points?
I have no idea how it's different. I honestly have no clue.
Go sit. Sit. You sound like a bloody hooker in... Thank you. Walking up and down the street. Sorry. Yeah, you have no advice?
Yeah, I have no idea how year 10 is different than year 9.
Does it feel different at all, or you feel like it's the same?
I feel like it's the same.
Okay. It's harder? Because I think that one of the things that we really... I was talking to someone. I was talking to Harry's mum, actually. And we were talking about how we all got so used to lockdown, and we had our teachers there 24 hours for support, you know? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you're like, you've got homework, which we haven't had in ages, in years. And you don't have that same level of support there, because if you email a teacher and stuff, they're like, when you said to your teacher about, oh, I asked a question, what did they say? You sent an email for homework for a question.
I'm thinking of a way to word this.
We'll just say what they said.
I know. I'm just trying to think about it. Well, I know what it was along the lines of, but I just don't know how to word it out.
Okay.
Like, I can't remember the exact wording.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a lot of trouble with coming up with the exact wording that they want for a lot of things? Like, do you find that they're asking you to do things differently or describe things differently?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Are you enjoying your time at school?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because that's a massive big deal to me, that you're enjoying your time and that they're looking after you. Okay? Because I've noticed a lot of changes in you. Like when you come home or with your homework, you're doing a bit of homework and then you're stopping and you're sort of waiting on replies and things, and you can't do that anymore. It's different to how it was. And if you're on question number 7, how do you feel about skipping number 7 and finishing 8, 9, and 10?
I just want to keep things in an order.
Yeah. Has the teacher said anything about that?
Well, she's brought it up.
What did she say? Good.
And it's not too far that I can remember.
You don't remember what she said? She's brought it up, but you don't remember what she said? Because Go on.
No, you go on.
I had a meeting at school. I got called into a meeting at school. And we discussed these things. And one of the things that we talked about was that it needed to be talked about with all students, not with just you. Like with all exams, with all kids, that what you need to do is you need to do the questions you can do first, and it doesn't matter what order they're in. You have to forget number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. You can't, if you're in an exam, you're supposed to read through all the questions first, answer the first ones that are the easiest, and leave the hard ones to last. Doesn't matter that there's a number 1, 2, 3, 4, because if you stop at 4...
Yeah, with an exam, that's a different story.
You have to apply that to homework now too. You don't like that?
Well, it was a nice way for me to keep things in order.
I understand, and I understand that that's what makes you feel safe. The problem is that if you get stuck at number 4, then you don't do the rest of your homework. And that is unacceptable for the teachers. They would rather that I know that you like the order, but can you extend yourself to do it like an exam? Because if you don't get your homework done, you're the one that's missing out. What do you think?
Maybe.
Oh, babe, it's okay. It's not a maybe. It's just this is something that we have to get through.
I know.
And we have to actually do it, because I spoke to the teachers. I spoke to Mr. Noble. And that's why your teacher brought it up. And I don't know what your teacher said, but one of the things is they can't answer your emails at night. They're not there for you for emails at night. So you can no longer... And during lockdown, that was there for you. Because you didn't have homework and you could email questions whenever you wanted, and they were just there all the time. but they're not now. These teachers are going home, they have lives, you know, what we talked
I understand
about.
this.
So can we get past the numbers?
This went from an interview to a lecture.
It's a question. It's not. I'm not lecturing you. Not at all. I'm asking you.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Is there anything that you want to say about school or friends or anything different that's happened?
Not that I can think of.
No? Okay. How are lunch times? What do you do at lunch?
I just... Are you talking about on Tuesday and Thursday?
No, I'm just talking about school, lunch. What do you do at lunch times at school so far?
I just wander around and just relax in my own world.
Yeah? Like that? Cool. So, generally, school is going well for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We have a couple of things we need to work on. Like, note taking is apparently pretty hard, you said. Taking notes. What's that about?
Well, it's just I would be writing down notes, and before I'm finished taking the notes the teacher wanted me to put down, they would just turn to the slide because they assume that I'm done, but I'm not. They sometimes do that.
Yeah? What have we come up with to fix that? Anything?
Well, I just let them know that I wasn't finished.
How does that go?
It goes great. They just give me time to finish it.
Alright, yeah, okay. One of the things that I had the meeting about was note taking, and they said that they're going to start providing you with the actual, so you don't have to copy it down, so that...
But in psychology, note taking is okay.
Yeah? Why is that?
Because there's a booklet dedicated for note taking.
Yeah.
And I just fill in tiny blanks.
Oh, cool. Alright, so it's like got designated notes that you're supposed to take. Oh, that's awesome. Psychology's got it worked out in your brain, haven't they? Psychology know how to do it. Okay. So generally, so taking notes and doing notes for psychology is working out okay. For other classes, we're making some minor changes. Yeah. And then we've got some warnings, don't we? We've had some warnings from the teachers about certain sensitive...
Yeah.
Like one of them turned out to be nothing. I thought it was going to be full on with the rod in the eye. And it wasn't.
But I think I know what type of those videos terrify me.
Yeah.
I think it's the one where it uses real footage and real audio.
Yeah, so explain what was happening with the last one.
The last one was with Phineas Gage.
Oh, the one before Phineas Gage.
Oh, okay. Well, they were putting a magnet onto someone's Broca's area, and they were just required to sing Humpty Dumpty had a great Humpty Dumpty. But usually when they would get up to wall, they would turn on the magnet. You would know because you would hear clicking. And what would come out is just whoa.
So what's the Broca's?
It's responsible for the mouth movements.
For speech?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then they put just a regular magnet?
No, it was a different magnet.
A special magnet up against the Broca's, and then they had someone sing Humpty Dumpty, and then they would turn it on, and they would go in as soon they couldn't finish.
Yeah. I think it was the fact that it used real footage and real audio like from
So
that
like
specific...
real life stuff, not whereas Phineas Gage was
it had an
animated.
Yeah.
So seeing someone with like a pole through his eye didn't bother you because it was animated.
But if there was real footage of that person with that rod in his eye, then I probably would have freaked out over that.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's gonna be, so like you and I have discussed that so there's no dissections at all this year. In biology, none of them. There's no dissections this year, so we're on that. But there are experiments. There are going to be chemistry experiments, and they're going to be cool ones. Like some of them, going to add certain elements to things, and they're going to, like the foam.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of experiments, and I think being in the lab, because we've been working since year 8 on being in the lab, you're not concerned about being in the lab at all, are you?
No.
Anymore. And it doesn't matter what the experiment is, you're okay with it, right?
Well, it'll have to depend on what's going on.
Where's your line? What
if there is like a dangerous gas that's broke loose, then...
Oh, so but that... Chops, go sit. Okay, but you mean that's an accident, that's not an experiment. If a dangerous... I don't think they even have dangerous gases at school.
Yeah, it was like a Bunsen burner gas.
Like if that was left on...
Yeah, I probably would have panicked.
So, Chops, sit already. Okay, yeah, sure. But the experiments, is there a line? Is there like, do I need to speak to your chemistry teacher and just get a list of all the experiments that are going to be done so you can look over them the same way that we got a list of all of the videos that you're going to be watching in the next couple of weeks? Like, what do we need to do to prepare you to make sure, like, for example, with English, you're not going to be watching Lion?
No.
Right? We're prepared with that. We've got a different movie. But then there were other things that popped up that were disturbing. So what do we need to do together? What can you do? What can I do? If I know where your lines are, what can we do to make sure that you're looked after, but also the school, and we can all work together. I can't, other than getting the course, like, infrastructure of what they're doing, all I know is that we've taken you out of doing Lion. We've got you reading a different book. I don't know I can't remember why we've got you reading a different book. Can't remember what the book is supposed to be. But we've got you watching The Merger either way. You're reading Power of the Dog. Mama's favourite movie in the world. What do you think of it?
Well, not even one sentence in and I was already questioning what was going on.
Why?
Because they were cooking cow testicles. I was like, what the hell?
They weren't cooking them. They were throwing them into the fire. They were neutering cattle. It's all on a ranch.
I know, but it was so out of context for me. I was like, what in the world?
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to explain how all the ranchers wear gloves. And Phil doesn't. Phil doesn't wear gloves. Even to neuter cows. And they describe exactly how he does it, right? Like everything. But he doesn't wear gloves and his hands are all like hard and and all the others, sometimes some of the ranchers try to be like Phil, but in the end they go back to putting their gloves on. Have you stopped reading the book, or are you still reading the book?
I think I'm still reading the book.
There's my favorite character. My favorite character in the book is the son.
I think the interview's gone over 25 minutes.
Okay, yeah, no, you're totally right. Let's wrap it up. My favorite character in the book is the son, and I think that you actually have a lot of characteristics that are, oh my God, Finn, I've been screaming at the dog to shut up. Tops! All right, we'll make it done, but keep reading Power of the Dog, it's because it's my book. It's what I got for my birthday because I love it so much. So you will have actually read it before me, which is unusual, but I think it'll be awesome. All right. Love you. Oh, come on, bomb! Quick,
I haven't got a shirt on.
Do just a face bomb. Face bomb. Finn Phineas Finbar. All right.